Barcelona, Real Madrid, the game which everyone has been waiting for. The game which will pretty much decide the La Liga table. On Sunday, we will find out whether Barcelona has won the La Liga or whether Real Madrid has a chance, a strong chance, only being potentially 1 point behind Barcelona. A draw does not help Madrid. Madrid has to go all in for Sunday. But listen, let's talk about it. Let's talk about what I want to see from Real Madrid, what I expect to see from Barcelona. Let's talk about the matchups. Let's talk about the storylines. And let's talk about the game itself. Listen, before we start, as you guys already know, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel. We're nearly about to hit 70k, which is, to be fair, insane. Bro, I expected to hit 70 by the end of this year. I'm about to hit it in May, which shout out to all of you, man, who's been showing love. Shout out to all of you guys who've been showing support for the past couple of months. Listen, let's talk about the lineup first. Let's talk about what I expect to see. As for Real Madrid, let's talk about Barcelona. I think Barcelona's got the most predictable and the most expected lineup to what we're going to see in. Of course, in goal, we're going to be seeing Szczęsny. Ter Stegen is, of course, back, but I don't see him starting anytime soon. And I think by the end of the season, Hansi Flick has got a decision to make whether Szczęsny is the main man going forward or whether Ter Stegen will be back into the starting 11. On the right back, as Koundé is out, I do expect Eric Garcia. Actually, you know what? Because of the matchup issue, let me put on the left-hand side. Bode is back. Alejandro, Bode is back starting. Bode is back. On the left, we've got Inigo Martinez. On the left, we've got Inigo. And then at the centre-back, we have got Kubasi. Bode is, of course, back. Jared Martin had a very good second half against Inter. But Bode being one of the best Barcelona players so far this season, and you could tell in the both leg against Inter, they missed his absence. They missed what he can do on the left-hand side. And another person pretty much missed him as well. But in terms to complete the back line for Barcelona, Eric Garcia is, of course, the expected player to start. Eric Garcia has done well against Inter Milan in the second half, scored a goal, could have scored a second goal if it wasn't for Jan Sommer. But for a part of me, feel like it will be Ronald Araujo. I feel like Ronald Araujo will be playing as a right back. First of all, listen, you guys already know how I feel about Araujo. I made a video literally yesterday or 2 days ago talking about Ronald Araujo, talking about how much of a liability he's been for Barcelona. But the way I look at Hansi Flick, I feel like Hansi Flick will look at Vinny and will go back into flashbacks time, and say to himself, listen, Araujo's done well against Vinny. He's done well a couple of times. He's got the pace and the physical attribute to handle Vinny. Eric Garcia, pace-wise, is a mismatch. Physical-wise, it's a mismatch. So I feel like Ronald Araujo, I expect him to start against Vinny on Sunday. I could be wrong, but this is what I expect Hansi Flick to pretty much say to himself. The two DMs is pretty much expected nowadays. It's pretty much easy. It's Frankie and, of course, Pedri. Let's not even dwell on it. Let's not take any much time on it. On the right-hand side, we've got, of course, the main man. For me, one of the, if not the best player so far right now in the world, and that is Mr. Lamine Yamal. On the left-hand side, we've got Mr. Rafinha starting, of course. Bode being back allows him now to invert in the midfield, make that late runs into the final third, crash the box because he doesn't have to stay on the left-hand side and carry that left-hand side. When Jared Martin was there, he had to basically be a left winger. When Bode is there, Bode can pretty much control that whole left-hand side by himself, which allows Rafinha to now invert in the midfield. I think Rafinha will be a better player since Bode has come back. Now, the question is, of course, the 10 and the striker. Dani Olmo started against Inter Milan. Fermin Lopez started against Real Madrid the last time we played. And it will be very interesting. Actually, no, Dani Olmo started the last time in the Copa del Rey final. As Lewa is back, and I expect Lewa to be starting on Sunday. I expect Lewa to return into his starting position. He came off the bench against Inter. Ferran Torres did decently when Lewa was away. Scored a couple goals. Scored against Real Madrid in that Copa del Rey final. That massive, crucial second goal for Barcelona. But as Lewa is back, I expect the person to be starting behind him is Fermin Lopez. Usually, Lewa and Fermin have got a very good relationship, got a very good understanding, and got very things where they have to go. When Fermin plays, Lewa plays. When Ferran Torres plays, usually most of the time, Dani Olmo plays, because Dani Olmo then helps Ferran in terms of the goal scoring opportunities. But when Lewa's there, Fermin is there to basically press, to be the dog, make that late runs, run in behind the defense, and I think Fermin will be starting against Real Madrid. As for Real Madrid, the lineup, most of it is pretty much expected. Thibaut Courtois in goal. Left back, Cama's out, as you guys can see. Let me go here. Cama's out, Ferland Mendy's out. So that's only really and truly one man that we can start, and that is Mesta. And even, alhamdulillah, to be fair, because I expected Alaba to be there, Alaba is also start. The only person we can start is Mr. Fran Garcia. Then, the person next to him, as Rudiger, is also out, as you guys can see here. Rudiger's pretty much out for the whole season. The two centre-back will be Raul. Where's Raul, fam? Raul and Mr. Chimeni. And now, the right back. Is it going to be Lucas Vazquez? Is it going to be Fede Valverde? Lucas Vazquez against Barcelona so far this season, we've tasted defeat. Not one, not two, but three. 3 is also the number that Barcelona tried to do. They tried to win the treble. It didn't work out. That's a completely different conversation on another day. But listen, do I expect Vazquez to start? Yeah, I do. I don't feel like. But then again, Fede, because Balde's back, it provides a lot of dangerous runs now. Because Balde's been massive. He was one of the main reasons why they beat us in November and in Jan. Him being absent against Real Madrid 2 weeks ago, you could tell. You could tell because Jared Martin was a completely different player. Balde being back is massive for Barcelona, and it will provide a massive threat for our right-hand side. That's why I feel like me knowing what's his name, what Carlos gonna do, he's gonna play Lucas Vazquez. I'll be very surprised if he plays Fede Valverde, because the reason why he's not going to play Fede Valverde, I think Fede Valverde will play in the midfield just because of the fact we don't have Chimeni in the midfield. I think if Chimeni was in the midfield, we can allow Fede to play as a right back, but we can't allow to go into the game against Barcelona with no Fede in midfield, no Chimeni in the midfield, and no Camavinga in the midfield. So when 3 of our best workhorses, our best physical athletes are not there, Jude being one of them, of course, but Ceballos is not really a physical athlete, and neither is Luka Modric. So I expect it to be Fede Valverde. The person next to him, I expect it to be Dani Ceballos, and then the person next to him, I expect it to be Mr. Jude Bellingham. This is what I expect on Sunday. I expect these 3 to be the main 3. Then, of course, Mr. Vinicius Jr. will be starting on the left-hand side. The person parting Vinny is Mr. Kiki Mbappe, the person who scored 2 goals in his last La Liga game, getting closer and closer. He wants that, as you guys, listen, I'll talk about the matchups later. But then, the last position, the most important position, the position which will decide the game and the fate of the universe. The most expected player to start is Mr. Rodrigo da Silva Goes. Rodrigo is the predicted player to start. However, and I repeat, however, as I said before the game, and as I said before this, before the lineups, there's a lot of storylines. There's a lot of matchup problems for both teams. And not only am I going to introduce who the last person will be, this person will be one of the biggest storylines. And that is Real Madrid. The only way they can win is if Mr. Arda Güler plays on Sunday. Arda Güler has to play on Sunday. Arda Güler must play on Sunday. And Arda Güler is the only way for Real Madrid to win on Sunday. You guys saw the performance he's dropped in his last La Liga game. You guys saw the performance he did not only in the midfield, as a winger, everywhere on the pitch. Having Arda Güler playing can give Real Madrid so many different lineups and so many different combinations and how they can play. They can either play a 4-2-3-1, they can either play a 4-3-3, or they can play a diamond formation with Ceballos here, Fede here, Arda Güler here, or swapping it between the two. There is so many different lineup combinations, and that's what Mr. Arda Güler can provide. On top of that, Arda Güler is the only man, as we witnessed the second goal that Mbappe scored, is the only man that can make that pass, the line-breaking pass. Having a left-footed player on the right-hand side is a cheat code. We've seen it with Leo Messi. We've seen it with Gareth Bale. We've seen it with Lamine Yamal now. We've seen it with Ian Robin. We've seen it with so many players in the past where if you're a right winger and you're left-footed, it gives you a cheat code because, one, you can drive with it, and Arda Güler is very good with his right foot, or you can cut in and use that left foot where you can unlock so many passes, you can unlock so many chances creation just because of the Arda Güler. On top of that, the set piece is important. That's why one of the biggest storylines, Arda Güler has to start. Rodrigo, we've seen it for the past 3 El Clasicos. Whenever he started, he hasn't done well. He's always faded away. He's always, even the game that he played on last Sunday, in the Copa del Rey final, Jared Martin was there. You did not take advantage of Jared Martin. Forget Balde, the last 2 El Clasicos in November and in Jan, Balde was playing. Of course, Balde got the best out of you. Against Jared Martin won the matchup against you. So I don't want to see nothing against Rodrigo. It's not like I want Rodrigo to be sold. I don't want to see Rodrigo on Sunday because I feel like Arda Güler will be the perfect player and the better player to start in terms of profile and in terms of matchup. I feel like a Balde hasn't defended someone like an Arda Güler. And I feel like Arda Güler is the X factor for Real Madrid. Mbappe will do his thing. And now speaking about the second storyline. It's Mbappe against Mr. Liwa. Both of them are chasing one thing and one thing only, and that is the Pichichi. Of course, one person is closer than the other. Right now, the Pichichi, 25 goals, 24 goals. Liwa being out for the past couple of weeks has helped Mbappe. Mbappe was out before that, helped Liwa. But now, only 1 goal separates both of them. And for Mbappe, his season so far has been an absolute disappointment. Has been an absolute... Bro, it's been a failure. Let's be real, yeah. It's been a flop. It's been a flop season. I don't care how many goals there he's got. I don't care how many GAs he's got. No Champions League, no Copa del Rey, and potentially no league trophy as well. And on top of that, watching PSG reach the final without you and potentially about to win the treble without you, it is a massive hindrance to his legacy. That's why on Sunday, it's a massive game for Kylian Mbappe. Not only to win, but secondly, if you win La Liga out of nowhere and you win the Pichichi, at least you can walk away with this season and say, you know what? I've done my part. I've done the best that I could. Look at my numbers. The players disappointed me. And this is the best you can do. If you perform on Saturday, then no one will look at you. If you do your part, no one will look at you. That's why the way to unlock Mbappe is playing the X factor next to him in Mr. Arda Güler. Vinny Jr., once again another player. So far, 2025 has been filled with disappointments, filled with poor performances, poor displays, and El Clasico gives him a last chance of the season. This is his last chance of this season. This whole season, he's done nothing. Sorry, the whole 2025, he's done nothing. From Jan to Feb to March to April and now May. This game matters more than anything else. And you're going to go up against someone like Ronald Araujo on Eric Garcia. If it's Eric Garcia, then you have to cook him. There is no excuses. If Ronald Araujo, again, no excuses because Araujo's going through a difficult period. Against Inter, he's seen as this now as a bozo player. You have to take advantage of him. You can't let him off. Whether it's him or whether it's Eric Garcia, he's not even a natural right back. You're going to go up against someone, neither of them are natural right backs. Eric Garcia and Ronald Araujo. So you have to take advantage of the situation. But now as for Barcelona, the way they can hurt us is very simple. Look at who our left back is and look who their right winger is. So far, the most informed player in the world. Someone who literally could have changed the whole game. Someone who literally Barca could have progressed to the final of the Champions League. And Barca could right now be one game away from winning the treble just because of him. On last Tuesday, whenever they played against Inter in the second leg, everyone disappointed. Dani Olmo had a poor game. Rafinha had a poor game. Ferran Torres had a poor game. Pedri, based on his standards and what he's given us this whole season in terms of consistency, he had a poor game. Frankie de Jong was okay. The back line didn't help. But Lamine Yamal, there was a moment where I thought to myself, this guy is doing the Leo Messi. This guy is giving me 18, 19 Messi vibes where he's about to carry his team so far and potentially to the final. But as Messi 18, 19, the team let him down. Barcelona on last Tuesday let Lamine Yamal down. Lamine Yamal was this close in taking Barcelona to the final. On Tuesday, he did everything that he could. The carry job, the passes, the dribbling, the individual brilliance. He did everything. The team let him down. And that's why he's going to come on Sunday with a complete different zone. He's going to be locked in from the first minute. You've seen what he said about Real Madrid. He said he loves to play against Real Madrid. You saw what he said last time. If Madrid scores 2 goals, we'll score 3 goals. I'm not worried about Madrid. He's already beaten us 3 times this season. In every game, he's done well. In every game, he's cooked us. Don't make it 4 out of 4. But I do expect, let's be real, I expect him to kick us. Especially with who's going to go against him. And that's why Ceballos has to do an important role. Jude Bellingham has to do an important role because the way I see us defending is I see us defending with this. This is how I see us defending. That's why I see us Jude having a massive role. But most importantly, is going to be someone like a Raul Asenio who has to cover, who has to help him. And that's going to be important, especially to control the Lamine Yamal. Another matchup problem is the return of Alejandro Balde, who is going to be flying, making the overlapping runs, making the runs into the final third, contributing to the final third, making the crosses and the passes. And that's why someone like Balde is going to hurt us massively, especially if we have a Lucas Vazquez going up against him. We all know what happened last time we played in La Liga. We all know what happened in the Super Cup final where Balde literally exposed our right hand side, and I expect it to be the same thing on Sunday. But the last matchup and the last storyline is, of course, this matters more than anything else. And that is the league table right now. 4 points. A draw does not help us. A draw does not help us. A draw, Barca's won the league. We have to win. Xabi Alonso, as the last storyline is pretty much confirmed as the next Real Madrid manager. Which means on Sunday will be the last El Clasico game for Mr. Carlo Ancelotti. For Mr. Ancelotti. Someone who's given Real Madrid three Champions League trophies and 2 La Liga trophies. The most accoladed manager of Real Madrid history. Can you leave this season with something? Can you leave this season on a high? Can you put this team, the right team, forward? Can you instruct those players to do their part? And can Real Madrid get closer to Barcelona? Because I personally believe, and this is my prediction, if I'm going to predict the game now, if Madrid win on Sunday, I've got a feeling Madrid will win La Liga. Yes, we will only be 1 point behind Barcelona, but if you look at Barcelona, if you look at the next 3 games after Madrid, they've got Espanyol, as you guys know, a derby. No matter what happens, no matter whether Espanyol is pretty much right there. Where is Espanyol? Right there in the middle. I don't see them going down. A derby is a derby. You guys remember the last time Espanyol helped Real Madrid was 06-07 with that Tamudazo goal at Nou Camp. Can Espanyol help Real Madrid once again? Or would it be Villarreal? Or who, of course, as you guys know, is fighting for the European spots? Or would it be Bilbao, who again wants to confirm and wants to have that Champions League spot, especially with teams coming in behind him? This is what I said. I feel like, and Madrid games are a bit easier compared to Barcelona's games. My prediction is, if Madrid win this game, Barcelona will drop one more game, and I think Madrid will clinch the La Liga trophy. This Sunday, everything depends on this Sunday. The whole world is going to be watching this Sunday, because that right here is going to be the La Liga decider. This game is going to control the whole destiny of La Liga. And my personal prediction to finalize this video, to finish this video off, if Arda Güler starts, Real Madrid wins. However, if Rodrigo starts, Barcelona will win the game. And that is my personal prediction for this Sunday's game. Put down in the comments what you guys think. Put down in the comments what your prediction is. Put down in the comments if Barcelona did lose, do you still think they'll win La Liga? Put any sort of prediction down. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel. And on Sunday, I will see you 45 or an hour before the game, where we're going to be talking about the biggest La Liga. It's going to be a lot to talk about. It's going to be a lot to talk about, man. A lot to talk about. Because if Mr. Arda Güler starts, Barcelona, Champions League is done, and La Liga is a bit